dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5:29 on Tuesday, September the 3rd. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Well, yesterday it got a little warm for some. Let's bring in meteorologist Kelly McShane for a breakdown of what to expect on this Tuesday. Kelly, good morning.
Good morning, Will. If you liked yesterday's forecast, we're going to be seeing more of the same of that today. We're already starting off with temperatures pretty comfortable into the mid-60s for most of us. A little bit chillier into Monticello, upper 50s, but everyone else mainly seeing those mid-60s this morning. So overall, not too bad of a start. However, we are seeing a little bit of fog. You can see that right outside of our front step and outside of Whitesburg into Main Street downtown. We are seeing that fog cover the downtown. So just be very careful. We do have plenty of it throughout the morning. So just be very careful on the roads. Here's that visibility into Williamsburg, Middlesboro, and Harlan. You're going to want to be careful because less than 1 mile of visibility. Now remember, less than 5 is significant. So give yourself plenty of extra time, and I will have that forecast for the rest of the week here in just a little bit, Will.
All righty, Kelly, thank you. Well, as Dorian hovers over the Bahamas in weekends, officials in the Bahamas try to figure out the extent of injuries and deaths. As of now, they report at least 5 deaths. Here is a look at the damage there. Massive flooding and winds took a heavy toll, destroying thousands of homes. The National Weather Service says the storm is expected to slowly approach the eastern Florida coastline later today.
If the hurricane kind of wobbles and comes closer, then we can go inland a little bit. So that's kind of my reassurance of we're keeping an eye on it.
Now, while some, like Sarah Gash and her family, waited out, a convoy of emergency vehicles drove south through Florida just in case Dorian does not keep its distance. Well, as with past storms, the Kentucky Baptist Relief will head south to help storm victims. The 100 volunteers will take chainsaws to clear debris and their mobile kitchens to help feed families. 2 chaplains also will make the trip to counsel people after the storm. Volunteers expect to be in Florida for about 2 weeks. They plan to stay at a church once they arrive. A former Knott County native is preparing in Florida. Casey Blair was an elementary school teacher in Hindman before changing careers to baseball. Blair says the weather took a lot to get used to, but now she is lending a helping hand. Volunteering is in her blood as her mother worked on the Red Cross disaster relief team here in Kentucky.
Yeah, I definitely reached out to her, even though she's still up in eastern Kentucky, just to help out with the list of things that we needed to make sure to tell all of our neighbors and community members to get together for this.
People on the East Coast are anxiously waiting to see where the hurricane makes landfall. The Kentucky National Guard is pitching in to help out people affected by Dorian. They are planning to send 350 soldiers to Florida. Right now, the plan is to have soldiers report to the Lexington Armory tomorrow morning, with soldiers arriving in Jacksonville Thursday. Depending on where Dorian moves, that may change their schedule. Well, 2 people face charges this morning in connection with the Harlan County shooting. Investigators say one man ended up shot in the face during an argument. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds has more from Cumberland.
Troopers with the Kentucky State Police say the call came in around 9:30 Monday morning.
Stating that they heard some shots fired in the area of the Tri-City Nursing Home Plaza Motel.
That is when troopers called the Cumberland Police Department, who found where the gunshot had come from. 49-year-old Daniel Bauer was shot in the face by what police believe to be a handgun at a home in Cumberland.
We do believe that at least the victim had been struck at least one time, and not exactly sure the status, but he has been flown out.
Later, in a press release, troopers say it all began as an argument between a boyfriend and girlfriend. Police arrested 46-year-old Stephanie Brock for assault in the first degree and 24-year-old Kevin Brock for tampering with physical evidence. In a statement from Nursing Home Administration, quote, officials with the Kentucky State Police say the incident was quickly under control and posed no harm to individuals at the nursing home, end quote. In Harlan County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, Stephanie Brock faces a first-degree assault charge. Kevin Brock is charged with tampering with physical evidence. We do not know the condition of the victim at this time. A shooting in Pulaski County left a 15-year-old girl seriously injured. Sheriff's deputies were called around 3 Sunday morning to a home on North Lake Drive at the end of Dixie Bend Road. When they got there, they found the girl with a gunshot wound to the neck. Investigators say she and her 18-year-old boyfriend had a handgun that went off accidentally. She was flown to UK hospital. An apparent stabbing sent one man to the hospital in Bell County. Troopers say they were called to Middlesboro Hospital by a staff after a man showed up with a stab wound. Police say they located a person of interest and found out the stabbing happened after an argument in the Yellow Hill area. Troopers did recover the knife from the alleged incident.
Apparently, troopers were able to recover a knife that was allegedly used in the incident yesterday morning. And like I said, the investigation's continuing. There's several more interviews that need to be followed up on before a prosecution decision's made.
Now, no arrests have been made as the case is still under investigation. New this morning, we know when a Leslie County man charged with attempted murder will appear back in court. Late last month, investigators arrested Joshua Napier. They say he tried to drown a woman. He is out of jail at the moment. Investigators charged him with attempted murder. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for 1 week from today. Williamsburg police arrested the city's housing authority executive after he was placed on administrative leave. Jail records show 52-year-old James Lovett is charged with second-degree forgery and abuse of public trust. This comes after Mayor Roddy Harrison said the city placed Lovett under administrative leave until the city concluded an investigation. Now it is not clear what exactly Lovett did, but his charge states the amount of money involved in the crimes exceeds $10,000, but is less than $100,000. One person is dead and 2 others injured after a violent Labor Day in Frankfort. Police say the victims were shot at East Frankfort Park. It's just off Main Street. 25-year-old Anthony Hendris Jr. was found on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds. 2 victims drove themselves to the hospital. We are told they have non-life-threatening injuries. A few cars were towed from the park. One had bullet holes. Police do not have any details on a suspect, but they don't think the public is in danger.
It was quick shots fired. It was like bang, bang, bang. We were less than probably 100 feet away from it. It's hard to have any thoughts. You are in a mine and you're just trying to get your kids safe.
Police are asking anyone who is at the park or has any information about the shooting to please come forward. We will keep you up to date on our website over at WYMT.com as we get more information. Well, 2 women arrested after police found a toddler walking alone around a parking lot will appear in court this morning. Last week, Barberville police arrested the child's caretakers, Jennifer and Maxina Gambrell. They face multiple charges, including first-degree criminal abuse of a child. When the child was found, police say the 3-year-old was wearing nothing but a diaper. Well, today marks 6 weeks since black jewel miners first began protesting on train tracks in Cumberland. Miners say with the upcoming court date, they are optimistic, hoping that the outcome is in their favor. They say while they plan to continue staying on the tracks until they get their paychecks, they are praying they can go home soon.
You know, people would like to be able to go home and, you know, go to their beds and stuff and be able to go back to life. Because it's a hard thing sitting here like this.
The miners have another court date in Charleston, West Virginia tomorrow. Today, 3 men charged in a Whitley County murder case will appear back in court. In February, police say twin brothers Jamie and James Muse, along with Jordan Miracle, killed Billy Lawson. The trio faces murder, robbery, and tampering with physical evidence charges. Lawson was found stabbed at a game room outside Williamsburg. A judge could set a trial date at today's hearing. Now, also today, we hope to learn the court date for Jim Sloan. He is accused of shooting a man Sunday outside the Front Porch Mini Mart on Highway 463. Sloan told us he acted in self-defense. The victim was flown out for his injuries. Right now, we do not know his condition or name. Well, 3 dogs died in a fire yesterday afternoon here in Perry County. The firefighters told us when they arrived, the home was already burned to the ground. The homeowner was not home at the time, but the 3 dogs inside could not make it out. Firefighters say they tried to save as much as they could, but it was just too late.
What we've tried to do is just try to contain it to the one area and try to keep the power lines from burning and trying to keep the surrounding structures from catching on fire.
We are told no one else was injured in the fire. The cause is still under investigation. Families in mourning after a boat fire in California leaves dozens dead. The latest on the investigation off the coast of Santa Cruz Island.
Another warm day is in store, but changes are coming soon. I'll tell you about those changes and the latest on Hurricane Dorian in my forecast coming up.